Welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the Hidden Huddle. This is Dre Dillard, and I'm happy that you guys are back again. If this is your first time checking me out, thank you. I appreciate you coming out. I hope that you hit that bell notification so that you keep coming back. I want you to keep coming back, not just this one. Pass it to somebody who you think might need it. And even if you don't need it, I need you to stay here today. All right. I've got some great information for you guys today, but I need y'all for sure to subscribe. I need you to comment because I'm ready to really get into I want to be active on my page. So I'm not just one of those podcasters who just put stuff. I don't have no AI answering nothing for me. It's me. Okay. It is moi. All right. Let's get into these hidden costs. Okay. That's what we're about to talk about today. The hidden costs. All right, what is a hidden cost, Trey? Let me tell you what that is. This football stuff, baby, that it can kind of make you sometimes want to take out a loan. But at the end of the day, it's well worth it. But there's some costs out there, guys, and this is kind of pertaining to really like Pee-wee. I want to start with some Pee-wee today because a lot of people, when you going to start talking about Pee-wee? I always talking about college, D1 and all this. Yeah, let's talk about some Pee-wee. Because there's some things that you might want to know. So get your wine, get your beer, your green tea, get your journal, get your pen, because I want you to write these things down, okay? Be interactive with me today. Let's stay active, all right? So with youth football, like what are some hidden costs? And they're not so much hidden, but I don't know. When I first started out with Andre going to youth football, I think he was 8U. And I was so green. I knew nothing. Even though my friend was the head coach, I didn't know anything. Like I knew what he did, but I didn't know the nooks and crannies of it all, how the wheel turned, the whole industry. It's really amazing. But I was so green, I didn't know anything. So I want y'all to know something because I've had a lot of women, Dre, what team do I pick? We're going to talk about that in another episode. How do I find this? How do I find that? And I'll touch on that for a second. Y'all, you got to talk to people that you know when it comes to stuff like that and people that you trust that have children. You know, that's why some people come to me like, what team should my son get on? Might not be in your city, which means that's another hidden cost. You're going to have to drive maybe to another city. Okay. That's time and money. But at the end of the day, you want to find a team that's going to be comfortable for you and for your son mainly. He's got to be on the field. He's got to be on practice, on time. He got to run. He got to wear the uniform, whether it's raining or not. And this heat right now in Texas is 105 today. These kids out there practicing, baby. So kids got to be comfortable. And it's you as a parent, you have to make sure, mom and dad, that your child is comfortable and he loves it. If he's getting in that car after practice and if he's crying and stuff like that, I don't like this. Don't force your kid. I ain't getting to that. We talking about the hidden cost today, child. Because I'll get off on a tangent. I do that a lot. Might be that ADD kicking in. Who knows? But let's talk about the first one. One that I knew nothing about. First of all, your child has to get a physical. That's easy. Most care nows and stuff do it like that. For now, it's probably like $20. Okay, but you have to have that. They need to make sure that if he has any illnesses that they want to know about, but that's a cost that you're going to have to pay. And it has to be an athletic one. And when they get in high school, it can't be the one you use at the form that they use for youth football. It has to be theirs. So there's different levels to this stuff. All right. So Pee-wee, they're going to give you the form. You give it to the doctor or the nurse practitioner, and they're used to it. And they'll tell you where to go, and they'll take care of you accordingly. Now, Dre, what's next on this? These hidden fees, the registration fees. Registration fees. That's the most expensive. Every city is different. Now, we were in Arlington, the Arlington Seminoles. So our fees, I'm sure, if you're local, our fees are, I'm sure, were different from the ones in Highland Park. Their fees are going to be triple for what we pay down south. Okay? You out there with Jerry Jones, you're going to pay top dollar. Whereas here in my area, you average, even if you're across the country, average price is going to run you from $100 to $500 per season. This is per season. Now, for me, because I'm anal like that, what does that include? And I wrote them down because I don't want to miss anything. And remember, you guys, when I talk like this is really like my opinion on certain things, but some things are factual. And when I'm looking down on these notes, because I'm really not a note person, but I just don't want to miss anything. And yeah, that's that on that. So they've got to secure the practice field. Who would have thought of that? You just take your kid out there to practice. You wouldn't even think that they have to pay for that. That has to be paid for. So whatever league, organization that you're in, they require that. And some of those registration fees come from that. There's some, I've even heard some youth teams that the coaches will pay for certain things like that because maybe the parents can't pay for it. There are different organizations who will pay for certain things. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Not only that, they've got to secure the actual playing field. Where y'all playing games at? Mainly with youth football, you're going to be at a high school because the stands get packed. And high schools have concession stands, and because people love to eat when they go to these games. Okay, some people out there barbecuing. It's like a whole tailgate party. Like some teams, they really, really do it up. You know, you've got to pay for equipment. What does that entail? Some teams have it for you. Some do not. So bank on that one not having it until you find out for sure. So listen to what I'm saying, jot it down so that you'll have the notes when you go to the coach. You'll look professional and say, so what equipment do I have to purchase? Oh, well, you don't have to purchase anything over here. We got it all together for you. It's provided. Some teams it's just provided. Others, most, you're going to have to pay for it. So you can get it used or you can get it borrowed from a friend. But at the end of the day, equipment, helmet, shoulder pads, mouth guards, cleats. If you like my son, he want to have the practice cleats, maybe one or two pair. You got to have the game day cleats. You got to have, you go to the playoffs, you got to have brand new cleats. Cleats are expensive, especially at that time when he was Pee-wee, he was wearing a size 11, I think. So, yeah, and you got to have drip. You old like me, you might not know what drip is. That's when they wear all the bands and everything and got them on their calves and shins. I mean, some of the kids really look good, you know, and it makes them feel good. So that's why it's good to try to maybe save up because, you know, you're going to have to do it again. Put it in your budget because, you know, certain things, you're going to have to pay for these things. These kids have to have it. Now, uniforms. You got to have team uniform. You got to have practice jerseys. You got to have practice pants. You got to have socks. You got, like I said, you got to have game day cleats. You got to have the visor where they have the helmet and then they got the blackout like shades. They want that. Kids like to feel good when they're on the field. You got to have nice gloves. So depending on what brand that they get, it could be price up here or it could be down here. But at the end of the day, I've seen some kids who, you know, parents couldn't afford things. And the first year that Andre went through Pee-wee, you know, it really hurt my heart, you know, seeing some kids with shoes that were too big and, you know, then they're not going to be able to play effectively, right? So I got a 501c3. AD Enterprises is my 501c3. And I had sponsors actually donate money So to help parents pay the fees, to help kids get shoes if they didn't have them. So I thank all of my sponsors who have done that for AD Enterprises over the years. You guys are truly the bomb, period. But, I mean, that's real stuff, you know. There are moms out there that are going through things that they know that their kid is going to be a superstar. You see it all the time. You see these kids at draft day, and they're thanking their moms. I'm keeping it real. Mainly it's their moms. A lot of times dads just ain't there. It is what it is. A lot are, but a lot are not. I see when I go on these visits, it's mom. So when I say mom, it's not that I don't want dads here. I do want dads here. But I say mom a lot because that's what I see mainly, a lot of single moms. Now, there are a lot of single dads, too. I ain't going to get it twisted. But at the end of the day, I've seen moms who couldn't get their kids to practice, and some of the coaches had to go get the kids. A lot of the coaches have to take the kids home. Mom might be at work, for real. I knew a family that was homeless. But you know what? They lived out that car. I'll never forget that. They lived out the car, but you know what? That woman got that boy to practice, though. You hear me? So there's a lot of dedication that comes in. And that's why I'm so passionate about my podcast, because there's so many intricate details. And sometimes I just want to tell it all, but I have to keep myself on track. But I want y'all to know that there's a lot of emotion that comes from me. So before I start crying, fun fact about Dre Dillard. Okay? I'm about to cry, man. We ain't got no Kleenex in here either. I was about to shed some tears because I do that a lot. If you know me, I do that a lot. Fun fact about Dre Dillard. I was an athlete. I'm still an athlete. I'm a professional bodybuilder. I don't compete anymore. But I've always been active in sports. But I can remember that I wanted to play basketball. So my junior year, I played basketball, made the team and everything. And I don't even know how, because I literally threw the ball over my head like that. Like I was doing a tricep press, threw it over my head and tried to, boom. I was a guard. And guess what? I fouled out every game. I fouled out every single game. And it was violently. Instead of trying to get the ball, I'm slapping girls on their legs and pow! I mean, the stands, everybody heard it. Yeah, fun fact. Aggressive ass. Yes, sir. Okay, what else? Let me get back on track here. All right. I like that. I think I'm going to do that every episode from here on out. Let me know in the comments if you like fun facts you want to know about me. All right. Stuff that a lot of people don't know. Okay. Another thing that you got to pay for, parents, as a Pee-wee parent, you've got to pay for optional, pay for team photos. You'll have a photographer come out to the field one practice day, and they'll be out there taking a picture of your son, and then taking a picture possibly like with their coach, take a picture with the head coach, take a picture with mom, dad, and, of course, the team. Okay, I can remember one kid was not there, and there was a team photo, and the mom was so upset, but the kid missed out. And the photographer actually took his single photo when he finally did come out to practice, and he photoshopped it onto the team. Now, at first it looked good, but the way that Photoshop wasn't as good back then in 2016. And I'm not going to say the little boy's name, but say his name was John, but we called him Shiny John because everybody else was matte. The skin was matte. That boy was shiny as hell, man. Oh my God, it was so funny. I'm sorry, because I hope his parents ain't watching this. But you know that boy was shiny. Don't play with me. Okay. So let's talk about that. That's optional. You don't have to get that. And they also have fat heads. You know, like Andre still has his in his room where his entire body was a big old, the big fat heads. Those are just memories. And when I go in his room now, even when he's not, of course, not there, and I look at that, there's memories that I can look back on too. So parents, it's not just the kids, it's you too. You want those memories. Get those pictures. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I can't remember how much that cost back then. I think that fathead was about $100 though. That was a little expensive, but that's optional, but get it. All right. So, another thing, before I forget, I don't want to forget this portion of it. If you have the majority of the team, parents can't pay for certain fees, that's when the team mom takes over, because each team has a team mom. That team mom works her ass off. Like, I could never be a team mom, because you have to make sure that they have the water's there, you running out on the field, you making sure you're replenishing them with electrolytes and things of that nature. Also for the coaches, you got to make sure that the refs during games have the same thing. You make sure that they have snacks. You bag up the snacks the night before the games. During practices, you are their mama. Team mom is the mom, while moms are either over there talking with other moms, working out, things of that nature. Anything that goes on, that mama got it, okay? But there's a lot of work that comes with it, too, because she coordinates stuff like this. Selling popcorn, that's a fundraiser, okay? Write this down, because this is a lot. And I might name some stuff that maybe your team never did, and you might want to incorporate it, because everybody don't do the same thing, you know? So selling popcorn, selling candles. You know how people come and say, so-and-so, we could do a fundraiser. Come on, grandma, buy this and buy that. And they looking at stuff. And sometimes some parents and grandparents buy everything. And then some co-workers, you just bombarding your family and friends with them forms. Because trust me, I did it all. All right. And I thank y'all for helping. Knickknacks. Now that kind of stuff I don't like, because I am I just don't like a lot of little knickknacks in my house. They collect dust. Ain't nobody got time for that. All that, I call it junk. So that one, don't put that knickknack down. Okay. Also, car washes. That's a fun one. Kids like doing that. Here, I think in Texas, it's just a little too hot for a car wash. You know, not unless you do it in March. You do a car wash right now, you can cool off. It's just too hot. Even that curb volunteering, I'm seeing that a lot. When you go to intersections and busy intersections, and you got the kids running with the little tubs, and they're like, "Hey, we're about to go here and go there. We're going to state. We're going to this and that. We're going to the playoffs," and they're collecting money, you know. And they're different now, honey. They got Cash App. Teams have Cash App. So you don't have it. They got Cash App, Venmo. I saw the other day, and what's the other one? Zelle. Yeah, goes right into the to the team bank account. Crazy, right? It's there. They're gonna make it easy for you, boo. Also, raffles. People are raffling off TVs and things of that nature. And bake sale. A lot of people don't like bake sales these days because of, you know, COVID with the germs and everything like that. Not unless you get it from an actual bakery. Feel me? Sponsor a player. For me, like, I would rather do that I'd just rather sponsor you, you know, give you $100 or something like that instead of getting them knickknacks. Donation. Here's $20, $5, whatever you want to give. That's one. Also, concession stands. You know, I used to work at the concession stand a lot. And it's all about people volunteering to do things, too, because you need parents out there at the concession stand, working the concession stand, collecting that money. That's work. Also, you need people at the gate giving them bands after they pay. Or now I know they have, I know in high school, I don't know if they're doing that in Pee Wee, where you have to do everything online. You just show your phone, tap, and you go on in, you know. Team gear. You know, you in the stands, if you're a team mom, team family, you want to be able to look good in your son's logo. You know, what I did was I got the logo, and I had a friend who gave us amazing deals on different sizes on hoodies, dry fit tees like this, and put the team logo on it. I mean, you can get all kinds of stuff, socks, hats, the whole 9 yard. That also goes towards to help kids with the fees as well. Also, you guys, get the coaches to also get involved. Parents, y'all really, really got to get involved. And so do the players. When y'all are doing stuff like, y'all don't just do it yourselves. I know at Andre's high school, there were times during the fall, they used to come on a Saturday and they would go through their phone and they would call everybody in their phone, all the adults, and they would get them to donate. Now, I liked that because then I didn't have to do it. So get your kids involved. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. Remember this. Items don't have to be brand new. Period. They don't have to be brand new. I remember one year, it was a year we could not find a helmet for Andre. He was just growing. Plus, he used to wear a high top fade. Okay? And we just couldn't find a helmet. I had to drive an hour away to get that helmet because we found it on OfferUp. Of course, I had a friend go with me. I ain't going to nobody's house by myself. But on OfferUp, look on places like that if you can't find items. Really, for real. Because it will help it if you don't want to go with the new route. Okay? Also, if you let coaches know, mom, dad, if you let them know, don't be embarrassed. Don't. This stuff is expensive. It really is. It adds up, y'all. So make sure that you go to the coach and say, hey, we don't have it. I just ain't got it. And for sure, I know if you not a you know what, and you are a good parent, coaches are gonna help you. They're gonna break their backs to help you. Every coach that Andre had on Pee Wee. Oh, I know for sure because I've seen it. But you can't be over there being no you know what in the stands because you mad your son ain't playing. Sometimes you got to, have a little honey about yourself. You feel me? And also, when it's time for playoffs, if your son is so lucky to go to the playoffs, you got to get expenses for travel. If it's out of the city, you've got to get hotel. You have to have food. It adds up, y'all. So I said all that to say, save up and also get your village to also help. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about, and I'm passionate about, I think I talk about this every single episode. I say a couple sentences about it because I mean it. I say it all the time because I feel it. And I also say it because I'm a trainer. You know that. If you don't, I'm a personal trainer. I've been a trainer for 30 years. And another hidden cost is that people neglect. I'll say 80% of parents neglect it. I'm being real. 80%. Recovery. Yes, that shit costs money. But if you want your son to go the long haul, you have to do what you have to do to make sure that your son is healthy. He must rest. Did I say rest? He must sleep. Got to. It's easy for your son to come home, take that shower, eat, and they get on that game. It's so easy. But they've got to get that rest. I say 7 to 8 hours or more. Not just on the weekends, during the week as well. At least 6 to 8 hours. They need rest. Okay? Stretching. Stretching is so important. It's not just when they get out on the field for practice and they're warming up. Stretching is also possibly having a stretching coach. It helps with injuries. It helps with popped hamstrings. It helps with quads being torn, shoulders, things of that nature. Also, foam rolling. Let's throw that in there. All that muscle tension, all that tackling that these boys do, they've got to roll that stuff out. And that should be done on a daily basis. I don't even like foam rolling. But you know what? I promise you, through my bodybuilding career, if I would have done that, even with more stretching, I didn't do it until the end. I would be more flexible now. Period. Because you never think about that. You see a lot of athletes, not just football players, a lot of them don't take care of themselves. They don't. So start that stuff now. I even believe in massage. Of course, like at that age, I feel too, if you're going to do that, you got to be in the room with your son. I'm just throwing that in there. And because I keeps it real over here. But they need massage, especially, man, hips, the flexibility, all that. Come on now. Your kids be tight, they be hurting. You could tell by the way they walk. And these are young kids I'm talking about right now. And some of y'all don't do nothing about it. You see your kid scluffing his feet, he hurting. You don't do nothing about it. Come on. You want him to go all the way? Stop that stuff now and get it in his mind. Like my son used to be, I don't need this. They ain't doing nothing. I take him to cryo tank. Oh, it ain't doing nothing. He doesn't know that it's getting down in there to help with that soreness. Hydration. Very important. That's on their own too. Because a lot of times I know how it is. They'll be out in the field. Coaches be like, you don't need no water. Coaches, y'all know y'all do that shit. You do. You out here in Texas, straight up, it's hot as hell out here. Coach, don't do that. You got to let these kids get that water. Be sensible about it as well. Y'all need to drink it too, hell. Did I say chiropractic? Very important. I joined, with Andre's 9th grade year, I joined a place called The Joint and got a membership for him and myself. I still have it. I just went to the chiropractor. I try to go once a week. You need it. Like, man, you do your neck and all that. Sometimes your neck be popping and hurting, and it's just like, oh, my God. And when you get off that table, it's like, wow. It's like the whole world has just brightened up because what they're doing is not normal to the body. That ain't normal. It's not. So take care of it. Them bones, please. Meditation and yoga is good as well. Some people might not feel good about meditation. I don't know where you are in your spirituality or whatever. Some people don't like it. I think it is amazing. So this meditation for my family is how we listen to God. You always ask for this, ask. You'll never shut up. When you meditate, you're quiet if it's not guided meditation, and you listen. And in that way, I feel you can hear God. We do that in my family. Yoga, Andre still does it. Sometimes we FaceTime and do it. So I think it's very important. Okay. We've been doing it. We incorporated that during COVID. Every time he has a game, the night before on Thursdays, that's when we would meditate. It also helps clear your mind. Do you know how much stress, like even at the young age, you know how much stress the kids have when they get ready to go out there on that field? Do you have any idea? Now, Dad, you probably know because you play. Like moms, do you have any idea? Meditation is something good. You probably need it too because it chills you out. It does. It chills you out. If you haven't tried it, I suggest you go onto YouTube. They have meditation for football players. I have sent Andre guided meditations for football players. They have it for young black men. Any kind of whatever you're looking for, they have it. Whatever you want to hone in on, they have it. Anxiety, stress, whatever. Just check it out. Yoga is amazing. That's another form of in tuning into yourself. There's a new thing called breathing exercises. And my second son, Josh Wise, he is getting ready to do the same thing and have a class on breathing exercises. I haven't been able to join yet, but it's something that I want to implement into my regime, because I feel that it is very important. You know, a lot of times we don't breathe right, you know, and you can see it in folks' faces sometimes. They're tense. And just imagine having a technique that is taught to you on how to breathe. You know, when you hear, it's like for me, having anxiety. You know, I need to learn how to chill the F out sometimes. And having breathing techniques will help you do that. So that's something else you might want to look into in your city. So I think I pretty much covered everything. I pretty much went on just kind of like Pee-wee for the hidden cost, but I'm sure that I'm going to have another one for as your son gets older, because there's a lot more. I talk about those all the time too, you know, trainers, all that, but we'll talk about that another time. I just wanted to hone in on Pee-wee because I know so many of y'all like, we're going to start talking about Pee-wee, 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 Pee-wee. Youth football. So today is your day. I want to thank you for joining me. Come back. I'm not going to say hope because I know you're going to come back because you want to see me. Why wouldn't you? Okay? Hit the bell notification, subscribe, and please share this with someone. Don't be stingy with my info. Don't do that. I don't care if you like me or not. Don't be stingy. All right. Until next time, thank you for being with me on this Hidden Huddle. Bye.